And we welcome you into the first Crustacean Nation Podcast here on the Hickory Crawdads Broadcast Network. I'm Brian Rushing, the voice of the Hickory Crawdads. Today, we open up the season with the man who's at the top of the organizational food chain, Douglas Locascio, as he'll talk to us about what this season holds, what the expectations are in the front office, and how much fun it's going to be having fans back at the ballpark here on our first edition of the 2025 season of the Crustacean Nation Podcast. We'll be back in just a bit on the Hickory Crawdads Broadcast Network. Black Tie Transportation is the official transportation carrier for your Hickory Crawdads. Your Crawdads trust Black Tie Transportation to get to every South Atlantic League city in comfort and safety. You can do the same at blacktieTransportation.net. Black Tie Transportation, going the distance for you and your Crawdads. www.blacktieTransportation.net. www.blacktieTransportation.net. And we welcome you back to another season of the Crustacean Nation Podcast. I'm Brian Rushing, the voice of the Hickory Crawdads. So glad you could join us today on the Hickory Crawdads Broadcast Network. And, well, it wouldn't be a new season of the Crustacean Nation Podcast if we didn't have the head honcho, the lead man, the guy that makes the machine run here at LP Franz Stadium, Douglas Locascio on. Douglas, thank you for spending a little time with us, and happy new baseball season.
Absolutely. Glad to be here and kicking off, another season of Crawdads baseball out here at beautiful LP Franz Stadium in Hickory, North Carolina.
Okay, now we're in full disclosure, we're recording this the day that the Appalachian State promotion is happening, to where 1,000 t-shirts, really nice looking t-shirts, are going to be given out. And this is one of the oddities of Hickory, North Carolina when it comes to minor league baseball, okay? At a college football game, tailgating is a must-do, okay? But it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, and people are literally tailgating right now for a t-shirt. Douglas, describe the hardened, dedicated fan base of the Hickory Crawdads and why they would go in a pretty warm afternoon and tailgate, barbecue, just to sit in line for a t-shirt. They clearly love Hickory. They clearly love their Crawdads.
Absolutely. I just think the excitement is there for another great and fun season. And in the month of April, May, and honestly, these people are out here almost every Saturday tailgating. Saturdays are kind of the traditional tailgate day here at the ballpark. It's kind of hard the Sunday through Friday per se, just because of work schedules or weekend plans, stuff of that nature. So Saturdays are kind of like the tailgate day that we see out in our parking lot. It's not like college football or anything like that, but they're still out here. They're mingling. This is their escape, and so they take that as an opportunity to spend time together with other fans, other fan groups, and just have a good time. And sometimes they do little rivalry things where they'll say, okay, we're doing a pizza party this one. And then the other one's like, oh, we're doing a barbecue. And they have the front office staff come out and say, oh, which tailgate was better. Okay. So it's just a time for them to get together and spend time together outside of the ballpark a little bit and just relax and enjoy nice days. But there's been crummy days and crummy weather days, and they're still out there and enjoying themselves and having a good time and just gearing up for a particular giveaway. But sometimes it's not even driven by giveaways. It's just by the excitement to be out here at the ballpark and spend time with those that they enjoy watching the game of baseball with, but also just building their family around.
And if we're completely honest, they're competing, okay, for pride. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with the front office being able to go out there and eat some free food. That's a perk of minor league baseball.
Absolutely, and they invite us out every time. It doesn't matter if we don't take advantage of the food or we do partake in the food. They're inviting us out, and I think they enjoy us coming out too, because they get to see us outside of our confines inside the ballpark and kind of loosen up and just enjoy time with them as well and hang out with them. So it's really unique. It's a fun time, and it's great to be back and getting these things and going. And we got a great slate of giveaways this year. So it doesn't just start here. Actually, our first one, the LR jersey giveaway, was a huge success.
That was
then you have this App State one, the big one, and it coincides pretty coincidentally with us going back to single A baseball. We're celebrating mid-May, the 17th, and giving away replica championship rings from that 2015 season. And so that was our last championship, and I was a member of the South Atlantic League at the time, which was low A, single A baseball. And so joining single A Carolina League this year, we thought no better way than the 10-year anniversary of that last championship than to give away a replica ring.
Okay, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because for the longest time, we'd been a member of the South Atlantic League, but minor league baseball had gone through a bit of a shift around 2019 to where the South Atlantic League all of a sudden became a high A league. Well, now we're in the Carolina League, and we're back to Class A baseball. From your perspective, you've been around this quite a bit. From your perspective, what's the biggest difference between Class A baseball and high A baseball?
Really, there's not much. I mean, you're going to see a little bit of a younger talent out there. So the average age of your team is going to be a little younger typically. Historically, the last couple of years, our average age was probably 24 and a half. That will kind of shift down to probably 20 and a half as we go back to single A baseball. You might see a couple nights more of a few more walks as pitchers are defining their craft and working through this or that or getting experience out there. So you might see a few more wonky scores or a few more, walks, hit by pitches, that kind of thing. But overall, the average person is not going to, I would think, would not know much of a difference if they came out last season or this season. They're still minor league baseball. We're still the affiliates of the Texas Rangers. They're still the Crawdads. The only thing that's changing is the level of play. And actually, it's really cool because it goes back to some of our history and some of the teams that we used to have old fun rivalries with. So we'll be playing the Kannapolis again, the Columbia Fireflies, Augusta, teams of old, but also teams of new. It's really cool to think that we'll be playing the Myrtle Beach Pelicans. We've never, that I recall, have ever played them. And so being a part and playing them, going to Fredericksburg, Salem, those sort of teams. So it's also old rivalries, but new rivalries, which new affiliations haven't really excite me. And from the business side, there are a lot closer trips. So, there's a chance for more fan base to go and travel to games. Nothing against the South Atlantic League and what it is now, but it was hard to get up to Hudson Valley, New York, to see those kind of games. And now I think our furthest trip is Delmarva. And so with that in store, from player player availability and player travel, so it's a lot more of a travel-friendly league. So really excited to be a part of it, and what better way than our home opener and first ever game in the Carolina League at LP France Stadium than to throw a no-hitter. So that's gonna be hard to top, but we definitely did that, and it was pretty cool to see.
Now, first of all, little sidebar. I would imagine that if given the opportunity, you're going to spend a little time down in Myrtle Beach with the team if you get the chance, because who wouldn't want to go to Myrtle Beach and watch baseball and spend some time by the water?
If they need me to go to Myrtle Beach or Charleston, I'll definitely I don't think those would be hard trips to convince my wife and kids to go with me on.
So you'll take one for the team.
I would take one for the team for those trips if need be.
There you go. Okay. Yours is an interesting story. If I remember all the details fully, college wrestler, okay, at Campbell, roll humps, and intern in minor league baseball turned general manager. Now, not directly. You took some incremental steps. For kids that are in college, that are kind of worried about, what am I going to do? What do I want to do? You don't necessarily have to have all the answers when you're in college. But for those kids that may not be thinking about what 10 years down the road looks like or 15 years down the road looks like, give them the pitch for why minor league baseball might just be the thing for them, because there are plenty of opportunities to be had and found in minor league baseball. Sell the idea to the kids.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, there's no truer real life experience than an internship with minor league baseball. I'm not just talking about internship, but just minor league baseball in general. From a very young age, it was always preached to me, if you love what you do, then you'll never work a day in your life. So you have to find that passion. And for me, passion was always sports, but it was family entertainment, and wanted to be around something that gave me that opportunity. But backtrack to that internship, and it's all about building a strong network and taking chances. You never know if you're going to like something or dislike something until you at least try something. And so we do that even to this day with our promotions. And the biggest challenge that we face is not taking enough chances, not living life on the edge, whether it be promotion, a giveaway. You don't know if it's going to work until you try it. And if it doesn't work, that's fine, but learn from it. You know, we've had interns that have started here and they've made it 3 days, and they realize the hours and the workload is not for them. But that's okay. You know, they gave it a shot. So I definitely strongly suggest people to get out of their comfort zone, give things. If you have a love and a passion for something, give it a shot and build a strong network base, because your network base is going to lead to endless opportunities. You never know where a connection is going to come. You know, it was happenstance that my old boss from Wilmington, North Carolina, from the Wood and Bat League, Coastal Plain League, met my old boss here in Hickory at a state conference, and they just randomly said, hey, we've got these intern opportunities. Do you know anyone? And he said, I think I've got a perfect person for you. And so, happenstance, you give it a shot, you take it, and you never know where the path's going to lead you. And so just right place at the right time. Luck comes into play a lot, but you have to put yourself out there and be willing to try things. Just saying, that's not an interest. Obviously, you have to be interested in it, but you have to be willing to take bumps and bruises along the way and learn from mistakes.
Okay, so the final question that I have for you is, I'm pretty sure that when you were wrestling in college, general manager of a minor league team was not the end goal. But when did it become an end goal for you? When did it become the thing that you sought out to do? When did you catch the bug?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say general manager as that role specifically, but wanting it to be part of my everyday life was definitely that summer in Wilmington. You know, obviously it's a tourism town and things like that, but seeing the fans come out, the smile on the kids' faces. Yes, it's baseball, but we are in the entertainment business. It does not matter if the team wins, loses, draws, no hits, grand slam, or whatever. It's all about the entertainment and that value that we can make. These people don't care what happened in your work. They want to come out. They want to have a good time. They want to bring an affordable, family, safe atmosphere and have a good time with their family or by themselves or with friends. It doesn't matter. And so that bug really kicked in that summer, and just seeing the smiles on people's faces when they either come for the first time or the last time. It's how can we make it the most memorable experience possible. So once I lived that and realized, like, man, this is pretty cool. Like, I can make a kid's dream. Sometimes, like, these kids emulate these players on the field and stuff like that. And yeah, I knew I was not going to be a player out there, but I can value and help lead someone of the future generation for the most greatest pastime, you know, and in baseball, and make them enjoy it. And whether that's in the front office capacity or a playing capacity, we get to be a part of that. But we get to be a 9-inning vacation for these fans, and we owe it to them to make it the most memorable game and experience possible.
Well, that's how I was going to wrap this up. I was going to say, this is the man that knows a thing or two about the 9-inning vacation. Douglas Locascio, thank you for spending a little time with us. Hopefully, we're going to have quite the 9-inning vacation tonight for everybody here at the ballpark. Douglas Locascio, thank you for joining us for the first installment of the Crustacean Nation Podcast in 2025.
Absolutely. Look forward to seeing everyone out here at the ballpark this 2025 season.
All right. We come back on the other side of the break. We'll put a wrap on this first episode of the Crustacean Nation Podcast here on the Hickory Crawdads Broadcast Network. The Sweet Frog Claw Club is the official club for kids 12 and under. This year, a membership includes a complimentary ticket to every Crawdads home game, a complimentary voucher for speed pitch, carousel rides, and the bounce house each Saturday, discounts, and so much more. Make sure that you get your mom and dad to sign you up for the Sweet Frog Claw Club. Hickory Crawdads Baseball, abide by the claw. And we thank you for tuning in to our latest episode of the Crustacean Nation Podcast on the Hickory Crawdads Broadcast Network. Folks, we hope that you'll follow us throughout the season on the Crustacean Nation Podcast. And as always, we hope that you'll join us on hickorycrawdads.com for the audio stream of all 66 home games this year, as well as checking us out on MILB.TV and the Bally Live app. Until we're back with you again, this is Brian Rushing. Thank you so much for joining us on the Crustacean Nation Podcast. And as always, abide by the claw. We'll see you next time.
In the cool Catawba River mist, there's excitement in the air. From Lake Hickory shores across Unifor, it's spreading everywhere. From the young folks to the old folks, it's a feeling they can't hide. Since the Crawdads came to Hickory, this whole town's filled with pride. Hometown baseball, it's got a hold on me. Give me Crawdads baseball, Hickory's own number one hometown baseball team. There's an old rebel spirit in every part of Fran's stadium. So let's stand and cheer, cause the dads are here and the fight has just begun. And to those who should oppose us, well, let them know this law. When you tangle with a crawdad, you're gonna feel the claw. Hometown baseball, it's got a hold on me. Give me Crawdads baseball, Hickory's own number one hometown baseball team. So come out to the ballpark for some good old-fashioned fun. Join your friends and family, the good times have just begun. Hometown